Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay. Three states, our own states, our own experiences, we examine in order to distinguish, in order to discriminate the Atma from its tentative appearance. Atma's original nature is one. How it appears in a given state, the state-bound appearance of Atma in a given state is one thing, and its original nature is another, that it appears in a way according to that state. That means he gets related to the state. He assumes a certain nature. He assumes a certain nature depending upon the state he is in. He goes through. So through waking he appears in a certain way. But when he drops the waking, so that assumed nature also goes away. When in dream he appears in certain way. When he leaves the dream state, that particular assumed nature also goes away. Then this way we have to distinguish and recognize what is his original nature compared to the one that is assumed on account of the tentative state. Okay. So the state is tentative. Tentative means again it looks that it is in a given time. In fact, states are not passing through time. Okay? States are not occurring and passing through time. Time itself is experienced in the states. Time is experienced in the waking. Another scale of time. Another scale of time experienced, a different scale of time is experienced during dream. But a deep sleep itself is free from any time, any scale of time. Okay, therefore, avasthas don't occur in time, don't pass in a time series. Therefore, waking, dream and deep sleep, you can't put a sequence to the states. They are directly experienced, you see them directly. It is the Atma that directly experiences these three states, not in time, not in place, because the space is experienced within the state. Time is also experienced within the state. Therefore, states don't occur in time and space. Therefore, they don't pass in a time. But this much we can say, they keep shifting. Shifting in the sense, when you have waking, you don't have other two. When you are illumining, when you are experiencing dream, you don't have other two states like waking and deep sleep. When you are in deep sleep, you don't have the other two like waking and dream. So this much we can say. That means Atma Atma means the consciousness. The consciousness illumines. Means we see the consciousness in a condition. Waking is a condition. That's why we call Upadhi in Sanskrit. Upadhi. Upadhi means a limiting condition, a conditional state. This condition is also from the waking standpoint alone. Atma itself doesn't have that condition. So that's also very peculiarity about it. Waking appears from the standpoint of waking alone. Waking as a state, Atma in its real nature doesn't undergo the state. Atma in its real nature doesn't undergo the waking state, nor dream, nor any state. The states appear only from the standpoint of state. See, that's a beauty about it. Waking appears from the standpoint of waking only. Waking is not experienced by the Atma itself directly. Atma, from the standpoint of Atma, no waking, no dream, no sleep, no state whatsoever. Atma itself is free from the states, because in deep sleep, it is your own nature free from states. Sleep, when seen as your nature, sleep can be looked from two angles. One is as a state, another is as one's nature. So that we shall discuss in the next, later it comes. When you see the Atma, that is oneself, the consciousness, as it is free from states. It is always free from states. It is ever free from states. That the appearance of states itself is from the standpoint of states. See, that's why we call it adhyasa. In Sanskrit, imposition. Adhyasa is imposition. Take an example of rope is mistaken for snake. So, during the mistake, you see the snake there. At that time, you miss the rope. You miss the rope and happen to perceive it for a snake. So, the snake appears while you are seeing it as a snake. See, snake appears when and where? Snake appears to the stand of snake alone. When you have the perception of the snake, when you have an illusion of the snake, only during that illusion of the snake, only during the erroneous perception. Error means erroneous perception. Only during that error alone you see the snake. So the perception of snake is an error. Through the error, during the error, from the standpoint of error. As long as there is an error, there is a snake. Snake itself, a snake is neither present nor appears to the rope. From the standpoint of the rope, there was no snake at all. If you ask the rope, see, you appeared like a snake. You appeared as a snake for a while. Why did you appear? You ask the rope. What does the rope say? Me appearing as a snake? Never. I don't even know. I don't even know. Because from the standpoint of snake, neither there was an appearance, nor there was a correction. Neither there was an error, nor there is a correction. Error and correction, neither of them exist from the standpoint of rope. So, the error is from the standpoint of error only. The error is perceived. The erroneous snake, the error of snake is perceived only during the error. And keeping that error in view, you talk of correction. So neither the error nor the correction, neither of them are present to the rope, because rope is throughout the rope alone. Rope is all along, it is rope alone. Rope even doesn't even know. The rope does not even know that somebody is seeing me as a snake. Somebody is seeing me as a snake. Rope doesn't even know. Similarly, there is a little difference in the example, that is the illustration, and the Atma. In the mistake, the erroneous perception between the Atma and this illustration, there is a little difference. There is no illustration which is perfectly suits the real experience, real event. That's why we call illustration is only to certain extent it helps you. Only it comes only up to an extent. It is not exactly like that. What is the difference then? In the illustration, in the drishtanta and the darshtanta. Illustration and the illustrated. Atma is illustrated, rope and snake is an illustration. What aspect is similar and what is not similar? Only up to certain extent. What is that? In the snake, in the erroneous perception of the snake, perceiver is me, what is perceived is the snake. Okay. This is different. There it is me. Me means an ordinary human being. We perceive, the seer, the perceiver is here. What he sees is only a snake. So perceiver is different, snake is different. The correction is only the snake perception is corrected, the perceiver remains. Perceiver remains. Perceiver before he perceived wrongly he perceived the snake. After correction, only the perception of the snake is corrected. The perceiver remains after the correction of the perception. He remains. So this is not, this doesn't tally with the illustrated. In the illustrated, the perceiver is the waking person only. Perceiver is the waking person. The perceived is the entire waking state. Both are within the illusion. Both are within the error. That is a difference. Difference between the illustration and Atma. In the Atma, so just as in the illustration, one who is perceiver perceives the snake, later he corrects it, but perceiver remains the same. Earlier he had a perception of snake, wrong perception, later he corrects. After correcting, he continues, the perceiver continues, and he had a memory also. Oh, earlier I saw the snake for a while, now that perception, that mistake is gone. Now I am seeing the rope. My earlier wrong perception of the snake is gone. Earlier wrong perception, my earlier perception, wrong perception of the snake is gone. Now I perceive the fact as it is. So he had two states. One is a state of error, another is a state of right knowledge. Okay, in the illustration. But here, there are no two states for the Atma. Atma itself doesn't undergo two states. Okay? Atma, so here the illustration varies. Illustration differs. So it is not same as the illustration. Here, Atma doesn't undergo a state of error, a state of illusion. Later another state of correction. One state of error, another state of correction. Atma doesn't undergo these two states. Atma is ever free from error. Okay? Atma is ever free from error. Therefore, the error and its correction, neither of them exist from the standpoint of Atma. To the Atma itself, neither of them. Therefore, here, this much difference we have to understand. The perception, wrong perception or the error appears from the standpoint of error only. It's like dream. Dream example suits here. See, the error of the dream is an error, a wrong perception. A wrong thinking, a wrong imagination. Okay, a wrong perception of dream is for whom? To the dreamer who is a part of the dreamer who is wrongly perceiving the dream world is a part of the dream. He is also part of the dream. So it is to the dreamer the dream world appears. So the dreamer is also part of the dream world. The dream wrong perception is also part of the dream. Okay. So, from the waker's standpoint, or one who is awake, for him, neither the dream world nor the dreamer, both of them don't exist. Similarly, so this is closer to dream experience. Similarly, the waking person who sees the waking state is a part of the waking state. Just as the dreamer is a part of the dream state. That means just as the dream world is an illusion, illusion means an error, a wrong perception, erroneous perception, tappu tiluvalke. Just as the dream world, dream state is a mistake, a misunderstanding, the dreamer is also part of the misunderstanding. So the dreamer himself remaining in the misunderstanding, he sees the world. So the world and himself being a dreamer, both together are one misunderstanding. The dream world and the dreamer, both together constitute one misunderstanding. Okay. Similarly, here also the waker and the waking world both constitute one misunderstanding. Therefore, Atma is ever free. Atma is ever free. Therefore, this misunderstanding for whom? For Atma, there is no misunderstanding. But for the dreamer is already part of it. It's a very strange experience. No logic. Then you look for how come it is like this? This is how it is. See, this is how the experience is. The experience has to be seen as it is. Logic means, what is logic? Logic is what obtains, what is found in a given condition, a given situation, a given event. What is found in a given event, you generalize it to all other similar events. One place you find one thing, and the same phenomenon you generalize it to many other things, and this generalized idea you call it as a logic. What is logic? We give a very standard example in our Indian Shastras, whether Tarka Shastra or any other logic. This is how we give. Where you see the smoke rising on the mountain. You are here on the ground, you see a mountain, over the mountain a column of smoke is coming up. And seeing the smoke, you infer that there is a fire. Somebody has lit the fire, something is going on. There is a fire because the smoke would not come without fire. So, yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vannihi. This is the logic of your Tarka Shastra. Logic, science of logic. There is a Tarka Shastra, one school of philosophy. So, they give the standard example. Seeing the snake, you infer the fire, although you don't perceive the fire directly. You are not perceiving the fire. What you perceive is only the snake. But seeing the smoke, you perceive the fire. Then somebody may ask, how, on what basis you infer that there is a fire? And he says, yes, I infer there is a fire. You go and see if you want. You mount the mountain, you climb the mountain and see there, you will see it. I say, how do you know? Because I have seen it before. How? Did you go up on the mountain and see that? No. Then where did you see it? He says, at home I saw. At home, when you lit the fire, the smoke is coming up. You understand smoke is coming through this fire alone. From this fire alone, where there is no fire, no smoke is possible. Wherever there is smoke, there is necessarily fire. But where there is a fire, it's not necessary that smoke arises. Smoke may not be necessary where the fire is, but where the smoke is, the fire must be there necessary. So there is a relationship of cause and effect. Fire is the cause, snake is the effect. So seeing the smoke, you infer the presence of fire. Okay. Similarly, you see one event in your life, that at home you see the smoke is coming from the fire. Once you see it, your human mind generalizes it. Wherever you see the smoke, you come to a conclusion there is always fire. How? All the events I don't have to see. How many events of smoke and fire you have to see in your life to be able to form this general principle? One event is good enough. One event at home you see that when smoke is coming, you see the fire below. This one event is enough. From this your mind forms generalizes. It makes a conclusion. Wherever you see the smoke, you see the fire. Okay. So logic means you see one event and generalize it to the other events of same class. Other events of the same class. Okay. When you see, when you go to somebody's house, at home at the gate, you see one pair of chappal, one pair of what you call them, shoes. One pair of shoes, new shoes. Generally, you know your shoes or your family members. Supposing 3 or 4 you have it. You see an extra pair of shoes. Oh, you understand somebody has come home. Have you seen him? No. Him or her, you don't know. You have not seen the person, but seeing the pair of shoes, you conclude that there is somebody inside. This is simple relationship. This is a seeing one part of it and you infer the other part of it. Seeing one point and what is related, necessarily related, the other part you infer. This is called logic. But here, in case of Atma, you don't have logic because Atma is unique by itself. Atma is Atma. You don't have any other event similar to Atma. How many Atmas do you see? Atma means oneself. How many yourselves do you see? Oneself means oneself. There is only one oneself. There is only one self. You don't see 10 selves. In Sanskrit, when we study, why Sanskrit, any grammar, we say I. It's a grammatically, we would make fun of these things. First person and singular and plural, you say. He is a singular, they and plural. Similarly, I is singular, we are plural. But I is singular, I is always singular. You can't have plural of I's. Do you have many I's? I, capital I. I means myself, me. How many I and others? One is I, first person. Other is you, second person. You combine and call we. But in we, there are no plurality of I. One is I, another is you. One is I, other is you. One is you, other is a third person. First person is always one only. First person cannot have plurals. Any language. But in Sanskrit also we have singular and plural. Then we would make fun of them. Hey, how can you have aham? Aham can have, in Sanskrit aham means I. Vayam means we many people. How can there be plural for aham? Are there many ahams? Are there many I's? You don't have many I. There is no plural for I. I is only singular. Always one only. Therefore, you can't apply the logic because this is this. The very nature of Atma is right now what is a matter of direct experience. You can't use logic there. A thing is in a particular way, that's how it is, that's all. That's how it is, you can't help. No, why can it be? How can it be like this? How can it be? That's how it is, what can I do? That's how it is. That's how the thing is, you can't help. Similarly, here, this is how the Atma is. Nahi drushte anupapannam nama. Shankaracharya's bhashya, anything which is away from you, anything which is mediate means paroksha, away from you, you take a similar event, similar object, based upon this you infer the other person. You see one human being, when he has got hands and legs and etc. Any human being you see, supposing you saw one human being, you see another human being. When you see another human being, do you ask, who is he? Oh, he is another human being. Oh, each person, do you have to be introduced that he is a human being? Or you see one human being, one person, you understand all others are similar. Because by similarity, by comparison, you understand. Everybody is similar. Each person, when you say again, oh, who is he? When you see one book, again you see some other thing. What is this thing? Nobody asks. Because this is a book. Didn't you see book ever? Haven't you seen a book ever? You saw the one book, and any book is like that. Like that any plant, any animal also. You see one dog and you see any other dog, you recognize it is a dog. Without seeing this particular dog. Because it belongs to the same species. Same species. Therefore you can recognize. Same jati. Species means jati. Same jati, therefore you recognize. So these are all the logic. Logic works in this way. By relationship, by similarity, by belonging to the same class. You see the one member of a class. You imagine, you understand the other members of the class because there are certain similarity of the class. But here, Atma is unique. You have no second Atma. Seeing one Atma based upon the relationship you can't infer. There is no similarity to compare with, because the I, first person, is singular. First person is always first person. You can never make your first person as a second person. You can't make it as a third person. Can you imagine yourself as a third person somewhere far away living? How can you imagine? To imagine you should be here. So you can't make yourself a third person. You can't make yourself a second person. Can you make it? See, you are a seer. You are perceiving. Can you perceive yourself as an object? Impossible. You can't perceive yourself as an object because subject is subject. Subject can't become an object. So similarly, Atma is a unique thing in itself. So there, no other logic applies. Therefore, the way it is, whatever way it is, you accept it as it is. Therefore, nahi drushte anupapannam nama. This is Shankaracharya's statement. Drushte, what is a matter of experience, no question of untenability. You say, how can it be tenable? How can it happen? No question of, no logic, don't question it because that's how it is. No question of untenability regarding what is a matter of experience, what you see directly. So similarly, this is how Atma is, because in the very Atma, we call it witnessing consciousness, the Sakshi. In the very Sakshi Atma, there is no individuality. So that Sakshi Atma, the witnessing consciousness, witnessing means he is not an individual, he is not a subject. So subject means a relative subject, a subject related to object. Sakshi itself is not a subject related to object. So you appear as a subject related to object, seeing an object like in dream. Dream, you become the subject of the dream world and you see the objects. And the subject or an individual or the dreamer is within the dream. Similarly, waking person or waking individual or the waker, whomever you call, waker or waking individual is a part of the waking state. He experiences the waking world while himself being a part of the waking state. So you have to see yourself as a waking person, as a part of the, only by remaining as a part of a waker, remaining within the waking state, you perceive the waking world. Okay, remaining within the waking state, you experience the waking world, waking people. Like in dream, being a dreamer who is a part of the dream state, you experience the world and the people around you. When you wake up, you are not a dreaming person. When you wake up, you are a witness of the entire waking state. That means you are outside the waking state. The consciousness which is outside the waking state, so the dream, outside the dream state, the dream objects don't exist at your level, but you exist at another level. The dream objects are still at a different level because they are imaginary world and you live at another level. So there is no connection, isn't it? Whereas the dream person who is experiencing the dream objects, dream person, dream objects exist at the same level. Same level means they interact. Dream person watches the dream objects, perceives them, uses them, handles them. He buys, he gets the things, he influences the things. That means he makes something. Suppose he makes a chair, he makes a pot, he creates something, he produces something, and the objects influence him because he enjoys them, uses them. The objects he uses, the dreaming person uses the objects, he gets influenced by them because they harm him, they help him. Okay, they help him, they harm him. Sometimes they are conducive, sometimes they are unfavorable, they are against him. So that means in some way he exists at the same level. So the dreaming person and the dream objects live at the same level. The dream objects help you, sometimes harm you, they influence you. In short, they influence you because you live at the same level. So when you are walking on the road, so you see some vehicle is coming, you move away because the vehicle may crush you, it may fall on you. But whereas when you wake up, you see some mountain there, you see some object there, some fire is there, are you afraid that, oh, the fire may fall on me? The waking person is not afraid, because the waking person or the waking consciousness, wakeful consciousness lives at another level from the dream objects. Dream objects don't influence him. Dream objects influence only the dreaming person. The person who is in the dream, the individual of the dream world, he alone is influenced because he lives at the same level. Okay. Similarly, the waking person is influenced by the waking objects, because the waking objects and the waking person live in the same space, live in the same time, live in the same connection, same level. Waking person or waking individual and the waking world live at the same level. Therefore, I use the objects, I change the objects, I carry with them, they influence me, they help me, they harm me. Both they do. They influence me. I use them. I am afraid of them sometimes. Sometimes I feel that I am happy with them. They can make me happy and they can make me cry also. They make me sorrowful. They make me happy because they affect me. But when you wake up from the whole state, or the sakshi, the witness consciousness, the witnessing consciousness who is beyond the state, who is not a part of the state, but who is outside the state. No objects within the state can affect him, because he is not part of the state. So here we say the conscious Atma, Sakshi, who is beyond the state, is feeling at the moment that he is a part of the state. I am a part of the state, I am an individual within the state. This is an error. This is a mistake. This is adhyasa. This needs to be corrected. All Vedanta is only for this correction. The purpose of, the aim of entire Vedanta is to correct this thing. I feel that I am a part of a dream world. I am a part of the waking world. I am an individual within the waking world. My witnessing consciousness is covered up, as it were. My witnessing consciousness is covered up. I take myself to be an individual within the dream state. I take myself to be a dream world, dream person, and also the dream world. Both simultaneously I see. Who this Sakshi, this witnessing consciousness, is experienced by mistake, erroneously. Error is also a way of explaining, because we have no other word. Error is only a prakriya, a method of communicating. Don't literally take that there is an error and all that. Something like an error. As if it is an error, how do you feel? It is something like an error. Error is only a prakriya, is a method of communication. It is a prakriya, means a method of teaching, a method of communication. Something similar to error. You may call it as an error, either error or something similar to error. Because there is no word, no expression which exactly communicates it. Therefore, the witnessing consciousness is always outside the waking state. That means he is not affected by states. But that Atma we are missing at the moment. At the moment, I take myself to be an individual part of the waking state. Okay. And this individual, so this Atma which is mistaken for an individual, and that individual happens to be within the state, and he is suffering because he is affected, he is influenced by the waking world. I am part of the waking world. That means I identify with this body, waking mind, waking sense organs. Then when I identify with the waking body, I assume my individuality. I become an individual. I become an individual only through my identification with the waking body. Only through the identification with my waking senses, set of senses. I become an individual. I assume an individuality. Individuality, Vyakti. Through my identification, identification means tadatmya. Identification with the waking mind, waking body, waking sense organs, waking mind. Through these three, through my identification with identification in terms of thought alone. Identification is only tadatma, is a manovritti. It is only a notion. Identification is a notion, is a thought. I am a body. I am an individual. It means I am an individual through body. Taking myself to be body, I assume an individuality. Taking myself to be sense organ, I assume an individuality. Taking myself, that means in my individuality, there is a body is included. Identification with the body is included. Identification with the sense organs are included. Identification with the mind is included. Okay? Through the body, I am here as an individual, having the bodily features of tall and short and what you call, fat or lean, whatever you are, short or long, short or tall, all these things are bodily features. I take upon myself, I feel I am tall, I am short, or I am man, or I am woman. Man, woman is also through body only. Otherwise, the consciousness itself is neither male nor female. It is through body, through the identification with the body, the bodily features are taken upon myself, and I say that I am a man, I am a woman. But the consciousness is neither man nor woman. It just conscious is conscious. So, bodily features, age also, that I am a young boy, or I am a middle age, I am an old man, this is through the body. When I identify with the body, bodily qualities, bodily features, bodily nature, I take upon myself, I identify with it. So, in my identification, in my sense of individuality, I see that I have included my bodily features. Similarly, in sense organs also, through eyes, I am a seer. Through ear, when I am using the ear, when I identify with my ear, I am a hearer. When I identify with my tongue, I am tasting. I am the one who is tasting. When I identify with my smell, I am the one who is smelling. I am the one who is touching. I feel the heat and cold. So, when I identify with my sense organs, I feel those external things, sensations I feel. Heat and cold and all those sensations, colors and forms and sounds, all these things I feel. Through identification with my sense organs, through identification with my mind, I start feeling the emotions. I experience emotions, I have thoughts and ideas, I become a thinker. I become a thinker through my identification with my intellect. Intellect thinks, but I say that I am a thinker. Because I am intellect. If intellect is thinking, I am thinker. Because I am the intellect. Intellect is me, but I am thinking, he says. I am thinking means intellect is thinking, but he says I am thinker. I am feeler. It is the mind that is feeling emotion, and he says I am the feeling. It is the eyes that sees. Eyes that see, he says I am seeing. It is the ears that hear, he says I am hearing. That means I feel I am equal to sense organs. I am one with my sense organs. This is called identification. I am one with my body. When I identify with the body, I assume an individuality. Assume means you are not consciously assuming it. You find yourself in that state, that's all. It is a beginningless experience. You are not beginning anything. You are not consciously identifying. Consciously ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಚ್ಛೆದಿಂದ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಯು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. You find yourself in that state of identification. It is beginningless, it is natural. You have not consciously done it. When you are awake, whenever you look at yourself, you are in this condition. How did I come into this? I don't know, but this is what I find. Therefore, we say beginningless, anadi. Adi is beginning, anadi. It is instinctive. Instinctive means you have not consciously picked up. You have not consciously developed identification, because there is no choice on your part. You have no choice. You have not consciously chosen to identify with the body. You have no will there. Have you used your will? Will means sankalpa. Have you used your will? Have you consciously identified with the body? You have not made any choice. You find you are in this, that's all. How? I don't know. You means anybody. It is a universal experience. Every person finds himself in this condition without your choice. You have not made any conscious choice, but you find in this. In fact, You have not made any choice to become individual. In fact, as an individual alone, you have a freedom. You have a will. ಸಂಕಲ್ಪದಿಂದ ನೀವು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. With your will, with your choice, you have not become an individual. You have not chosen, you have not consciously become an individual, but as an individual you have a will. Because you are an individual, as an individual alone you have a will. Sakshi is free from will. The witness in consciousness is free from will. Will is the nature of individuality. Okay. It's an individual. When I identify, that's why in deep sleep you have no choice, you have no will. In deep sleep you existed. Do you have any will? Do you have any thought? You are not a thinker. You have no will. You just exist. You are simple consciousness existing. You have no will. So the will is individuality. At the moment, the will can be explained differently also. But anyway, at the moment we take this way. It is as an individual you have a will. By using the will you can do some acts. As an individual you can walk, you can travel within the waking state, you move around, you do some actions, karma phalam, you do acts and you get the result of your acts. So with your physical body you carry out some act, you perform some acts. With sense organs, you have two sets of sense organs. One is a karmendriya, another is jnanendriya, we call in Sanskrit. Karmendriya, organs of action. Jnanendriya, organs of knowledge. Eyes, ears, these are organs of knowledge. Because they only give you knowledge. Eyes give you knowledge. You don't do any action with eyes. Eyes can only see, ears can only hear. Okay, 5 sense organs. With the 5 sense organs you only perceive. You have a knowledge, therefore we call them jnanendriyani. Indriya is an organ, jnanendriyam knowledge, organs of knowledge. Similarly, organs of action, hands and legs. Mouth is an organ of action, it speaks. Mouth speaks, hands hold and push and so on. So hands is also another organ of action. Legs is a third organ of action because you can walk. You can walk and sit and you do all many things, jump and dance and many things through your legs. So leg is a one organ of action. Hands is a second organ of action. Mouth is a third organ of action. Other 2 are only your evacuation, a passing of urine and all that other 2. So like this we have got 5 organs of action. This is how our Shastras classify them. 5 organs of action, 5 activities we carry out. But 5 organs of knowledge. So therefore, when we identify with these organs, you see, I am doer. I am a person, I am one who is doing them. I am the one who is doing them. Okay, I am knowing them. I am a knower because I know, I see, I smell, I taste, so I see myself as identifying with the sense organ and seeing them, knowing them. Okay, knowing the external world. Then identifying with the mind. Mind has got 2 levels, we say. One is a feeling, another is a thinking. Feeling we called manaha, but in Sanskrit it is all fluctuating. Mind and intellect, these are all fluctuating words. We don't have a fixed meaning. Mind, in generally, mind means feeling. Buddhi, manassu means feeling, buddhi means thinking. Mind and intellect. So accordingly we translate. From the Sanskrit we translate. I don't know in English how do they use. But mind, mind is synonymous to manaha. That is manaha. Buddhi is synonymous to intellect. Intellect thinks, mind feels. But sometimes you use them interchangeably also. In Vedanta it's a fluctuating word. Interchangeably sometimes you use buddhi in the sense of feeling and mind in the sense of thinking also. Manaha, buddhi are interchangeable words. Because we are not talking of psychology, we are interested in Atma. Therefore we may use any word, doesn't matter. It is a philosophical term, not a psychological term. In psychology then there is a fixed meaning and fixed word and all that. That's different. Anyway, our subject is only philosophy, not psychology. Therefore, when I identify with the mind, I am a feeler, feeling the feelings, various love and hatred, anger, fear and so on. So I identify with those feelings. I say I am subject to those feelings. I identify with them. I undergo feelings. I get disturbed. When I am in a good mood, that's why when I identify with my mind, whatever the state of mind fluctuates. I also fluctuate. That's why people see them, their moods fluctuate. Moods fluctuate because he is in a good mood, he is happy and peaceful. Sometimes he is disturbed, unhappy, humiliated, embarrassed. Sometimes he is afraid, sometimes he is angry, sometimes deeply depressed. Okay, all these various states he undergoes. These are all emotional states. So when that emotional state arises, your mind assumes that emotional state. I identify with it, means I feel I am the mind. I am that state of mind is me. Me and state of mind, there is no difference. I am the one. You may train your mind, try to control the mind, don't get disturbed, try to be a little relaxed. You may, to certain extent, you can control the mind. You can train up your mind, you can cultivate something, so you can do to certain extent, but you can't be totally free from the mind as an individual. So that only it is the Sakshi, the witnessing Sakshi, witnessing consciousness alone is free from the mind. It is totally unaffected because it doesn't identify. In that state of identification is Jiva, that is called Jiva, an individual, whatever you use. So it is a Jiva who is, it is the consciousness appears as if in that identified state. Now at the moment we see that individuality is Sakshi. Sakshi individuality we are unable to distinguish. We see them as one. That is the problem. This problem needs to be corrected. As an individual alone is the Atma. But the Atma, my real self, is the witnessing consciousness beyond individuality. I don't know it. I only hear what Vedanta says. I am yet to discover. I am yet to discover in my life. At the moment I see this individuality is me. I am a conscious being, but as a conscious being I am only an individual. Therefore I undergo all the sufferings, all the good and bad. Sometimes I am in a good mood and happy. Sometimes I am suffering. So I am going through many things. So I am the mind. I try to pacify the mind. I try to develop the strength in the mind. Intellect also. Intellect thinks. Sometimes intellect, when you use your will, you think. You make a plan. You make an idea. You want to go somewhere. Okay. You have a sankalpa. Sankalpa means you make a decision. You make a decision. You make a determination. You want to do something. Later you change your ideas. So this thinking faculty. Thinking means you perceive, you make a judgment. Think, you develop an idea, you question, you make a decision. Okay, decision about action, decision about an idea also. You watch, by watching you come to a conclusion. Oh, this is like this is this. A conclusion, forming a conclusion, making a judgment, all this is only a will, all this is intellect. So this using a will means you are making conclusions, you are judging, you are taking decisions. If decision goes wrong, you feel upset. Oh, my decision went wrong. Okay, so you identify with your intellect's decision, intellect's conclusions. The conclusion goes wrong, you feel hurt. If the conclusion becomes right, successful, you feel happy. My intellect is correct. So when you identify with the intellect, whatever the state the intellect is, whatever condition the intellect is in, that condition belongs to me. I keep fluctuating. Sometimes I am in a good mood, sometimes I am in a wrong mood. I keep on getting disturbed. Sometimes I am in a good mood, I become happy. Sometimes I go down, I become unhappy. Because when I identify with the intellect, I am equal to intellect. I am equal to mind. I am equal to sense organ. I am equal to the body. But here we have to distinguish. Shastra says, this is only a wrong identification. This is not your real self. Real self is lying underground, which is in fact unaffected. But at the moment, because of your misunderstanding, because of your error, you identify yourself as an individual. And it is your individuality is what you know. You take this individuality is your Atma. Atma means self. Individuality is my real self. This is what I am. Because I have not consciously chosen, this is what I find myself. Choicelessly I find. Choicelessly I find to be an individual. Therefore, he says, this is natural to me. This is myself, this is my Atma. And this Atma is a very sorrowful Atma. As a body, when I identify with the body, I become an individual. Body is subject to birth and subject to death. Body is subject to aging. Body is subject to suffering. Body falls sick. Sometimes it is healthy. It falls sick. When it falls sick, I become sick. When it is healthy, I am healthy. When body becomes hungry, then I become hungry. Okay, whatever is the condition of the body, my condition is also same, because I take body to be the Atma. So this is my present condition. What Vedanta says is, you have to discriminate. It is not your real you. This is only tentatively in the wake of your waking state. Wake of means in the context of. In the context of waking state, you take yourself to be an individual identifying with these three: body, sense organs and mind. And take the bodily qualities, bodily features, qualities and features of sense organs, qualities and features of the mind, all of them I take upon myself. This is how I am. Now, I struggle hard. You can't run away from your body. Where will you go? Wherever you go, you have to carry your body. You can't run away. You can't run away from your sense organ. You can't run away from your mind also. And there are some songs. I heard it's a very good Hindi film song there is. They say, your mind is you. Mana darpana kahelaayo. Some saint wrote it and then put it in the film. Mana darpana kahelaayo. In Hindi film song is like that. Your mind is like your mirror, he says. The meaning of the song is Mana darpana kahelaayo. Mana darpana kahelaayo. Darpana is mirror. Mana is mind. Kahelaayo, it is stated. Your mind is stated to be your mirror. It reflects all your activities, all your thoughts, all your feelings, your good and bad and everything. Protect your mind. He says, see that the dust, it won't catch the dust. If like a mirror catches the dust, you won't be able to see. Therefore, anything good and bad and your happiness, unhappiness, everything depends upon your state of mind. Try to protect your mind. As the mind, so is your life. Mana darpana kahelaayo. So, we try to improve the mind. But in spite of improvement, still I am the mind only. You can improve, but you can't get rid of the mind. You can slightly improve. You can slightly improve your health, body. You can make body healthy. You have to go to the gym and do exercise and make it healthy. But however healthy, it has got limitations. It can't be eternally healthy. In spite of health, it catches infection and all that. You can't do anything. Or it get accident and something, then the bone is broken and then all the problems. So, body is subject to many elements outside. Because it is vulnerable. Body is vulnerable. Vulnerable to any accident, any disease or anything. Sense organs also vulnerable. Mind is also vulnerable. Vulnerable means ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಭಾವಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಾಗುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂದರ್ಥ. It is subject to many things. You can't escape. As long as you are a waking individual, you are part of the world. World continuously influences you. You try to make some changes, but a little bit. You can't make totally. Can you create totally a new world for yourself? Totally new world of your liking. No object, no person is against you. Everybody loves you. Nobody hates you. You can't create, because the world also is not under your control. You can't make it. Therefore, you have to put up with this world. You have to live with this world. There is no way. You can't escape. You can't run away from this world. So, you can only improve little bit. Therefore, people say, let us live peacefully, let us respect, follow certain laws, don't interfere in others' life. Okay, others, you can make laws for others in the society. What about your family members? If they themselves are wicked people, where will you go? If some of them give trouble to you, where will you go? Outsiders, you can make law. But here all the laws are violated because in the intimate relationship, they love and hate also. They love and hate, they quarrel, they help and they quarrel. Now where will you? Not only others, sometimes you yourself do wrong things and you hurt yourself. But where will you go? If the society hurts, you make a law. But if it doesn't follow the law, where will you go? You go to the court, okay, you may go to the court. You may take him to prison, go to the court, but still another fellow will be there. Somebody will hurt you. Somebody will harm you. It is an endless, there is no permanent solution. Can you make all the society into good people? That is only a utopian dream like communism. It's a utopia, we call in English, I don't know. You understand utopia in English? Yeah, there many English words are in Italy because English came from their language only. Therefore, all those words are there. So many utopia. Utopia means an imaginary idea. So you can't change the whole society. You can't change all your family members. Okay, you may have one or two family members, your wife and children or somebody good. After some time, what happens? How long you live? Then one of your family member marries another person. That is the one more thing that is inevitable, you have to marry. Either a daughter-in-law comes from outside or your daughter goes away somewhere. Then how do you know, how are you sure that the other person is good person? They hurt your members, your daughter or son, then you feel hurt. Then where will you go? Can you make the whole society good people? That means you are vulnerable. Vulnerability is a fact. It is inevitable. You can't escape. Oh, where will you go? Sometimes you hurt yourself also by wrong thoughts. Sometimes you get into a mood, you are angry or something, you may do something, and later you regret for what you have done it. But why did I do? But you end up doing it. What can you do? How long you can control? You may control to some extent, but you can't control the entire mind. Therefore, Vedanta says, every control means regulate it, control it to certain extent. The only thing is, you can only transcend them. If you transcend, you are free from the body. When you transcend the sense organs, how to transcend the very identification is a wrong identification. Oh, this I never knew. Nobody knows. A human being cannot guess that his sense of individuality is a wrong identification. His sense of individuality, ತನ್ನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ಎಂಬುದು ಒಂದು ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಹೊಳೆಯುವುದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. It never occurs to him that my sense of identification is an error, is a misunderstanding, is a wrong identification. Nobody told me, nor even I can imagine myself. No scientist can ever discover. Because it is the individuality who discovers everything. He can never face himself. He can never question himself. See, mind questions everything. Does mind question itself? Mind doesn't question. It questions everybody, but mind remains itself. Mind doesn't question because it doesn't know. That very mind is the problem. Mind doesn't know. Mind thinks everybody else is a problem. Mind itself, intellect itself doesn't question. This is where Shastra helps, Guru helps. Shastra, Guru means those who themselves have transcended. They come and tell us it is a wrong identification. Is this? I never knew. Nobody told me. No, that's why I'm telling you. Since you don't know it and you need to know it and nobody else can tell you, nor you can find out yourself. You have to get it from Guru or Shastra. So we got it from our Gurus and therefore even we did not know and they have to tell us. After they tell, yeah, this seems to be possible. Yeah, that's why am I suffering like this? Why am I suffering like that? As long as I am an individual, I try to regulate, control, discipline myself, but all that is limited. I can't be totally free. Then what is the way of being totally free? They say this identification, as long as you are in identification, you keep undergoing states, waking, dream and deep sleep. You are subject to this state. As long as you are an individual, you are a part of the world. As long as you are a part of the world influences you. People and the society and the things, nature, everything influences your body. When your body is influenced, your mind is influenced. When mind is influenced, you are influenced. Your experiences of pain and pleasure keep on fluctuating. Helplessly, you are made to undergo sometimes happy, sometimes unhappy, sometimes sorrow, sometimes happy. This is inevitable. My God, then where will I go? Where will I go? This is what we have to watch, understand. A mature person watches. Somewhere something is wrong. in the very human life, in the whole world, somewhere we are missing some important thing. For want of that thing, we are suffering. There might be somewhere missing. So we don't know the secret of life. There is something secretly, one point where we missed it, we have misunderstood something. If you suspect that somewhere something is wrong, at that point, having discovered what is within our hands, we tried. We try to discipline our mind, try to discipline the society, family members. You get educated, you become cultured man, you follow some religion, religious discipline, values, etc. But all values, religious discipline, your bhakti, your belief in God, all that to a certain extent helps you. It is good. But still you remain an individual. You are an individual, your God is there and you depend on Him, and the world is there and you have to live. There is no way. Even if you go to the other world called heaven, there also you remain an individual, and then there remain other people. Same again. World is a slightly better world, but it is the same world, same individuality, same subject to good and bad, pain and pleasure. Happiness and suffering will be there. As long as you are a subject, you are interacting with other. When there is an interaction, you can't expect all the events to be continuously, all the time favorable to you. Some events, some people unfavorable, favorable, unfavorable. Then you get pleasure and sorrow, happiness and sorrow. Wherever you go, as long as there are two things, two people, interaction. In interaction, can't be all the time favorable, all the time happiness. As long as there is a world, there has to be duality. Duality means two things, me and the other. As long as there is another in the interaction, all of them can't be all the time conducive to you. Slightly better, but not perfect. Therefore, suffering is inevitable. Alternating, happiness and sorrowful, happiness and sorrow, they keep alternating. But is there any way? Somewhere something is missing. You have been a very cultured person, mature person, intelligent, much better than other people, but still you are not totally free. Still there is somewhere something is suffering, somewhere something is causing you suffering. So at that point we approach a guru, we approach a saint or somebody who knows, who might be knowing, we don't know, we keep on searching. That again is a searching. We keep on searching. We keep on searching various saints, various sages. We try to read their books, try to listen to them. So whatever they say, you try to apply to your life and keep on searching. Someday you will find that there is somebody who talks of something more than this, who seems to know something deeper than this. Then you come to, this is the point. This is the new one I am listening first time. I have never heard before. There must be something deeper. But anyway, at least in India, we have got a tradition, we have got Upanishads, we have got gurus and all that. They say, at a time when you become mature enough to understand these things, approach Guru will help you. So at least some that general knowledge is there, that when you look for an answer, when you get this question, what is the ultimate source of life? What is the ultimate reality of the life? When we live this life, normal life as a human being, we are going up and down. Up and down means both happiness and sorrow. There is no perfection. Then where is perfection? Is there such a thing? Is there such an absolute freedom? Is it possible? Can I ever get it? Is there anybody who got it already? These are the questions. Can I ever be free? Or is there such a thing called total freedom, absolute freedom? Or this is the only way we have to live? Slightly better, but still suffering within that alone. These questions, when they haunt you, rise you, then you are fit for Vedanta. That question, not that you borrow the question should come from your mind. By your observation of your life, by your understanding of existing life, you keep watching them, observing them. When these questions arise, that shows you have gone to a deeper level. You have understood, you have watched the entire world, you have filtered the entire world. Then you come to the point, is there such a thing? Then you look for it, you may read some book or you may approach somebody somewhere you don't know. This is all searching. In the searching, you may see many wrong people, wrong things. Some people say that I know everything. You listen to him, he says he knows as much as I know, no use. Then go to another guru. Then again listen to him, he seems to know little better than me, but only little better, not perfect. You go to another third person. You keep on searching. Somewhere you find that Somebody who knows perfect. What he talks, what he says really appeals to my experience. Then you say, this is the right place, I have to learn. This is how we have been searching. Even within India, where there is spirituality, Upanishadic Vedanta is prevalent, we too have to search. I tell you, where I was born, I didn't know. I've been searching, left my village where I was born, went to your towns and cities and traveled for kilometers, hundreds of kilometers, ultimately went somewhere into Rishikesh and Himalayas. Afterwards, after a long time, I came to just to see my parents because they were alive at that time. When I said there were Vedantins in my village, in my neighboring village, I didn't know. I went all over Himalayas to search in search of them. Later I found there are Vedantins even here only. That's my luck. You have to search somewhere you go all over, and then you find there are many Vedantins somewhere here only. So we have to search. Because life is searching, you have to keep on searching. Sometimes you find wrong guru, sometimes you found a little better guru, but not perfect. You may know little more. Then you keep on searching. In the course of your searching, somewhere something, by your luck, by the Bhagavan's grace, by the grace of Bhagavan, you find the right guru who tells you. Because guru is also same Bhagavan's grace. Anyway, they are not separate. Guru and Bhagavan is not separate, nor you are separate from him anyway. All this is ultimately one. So that, or you can say your inner Atma's grace, whatever you call it. Either Bhagavan's grace or Guru's grace or your own inner Atma Sakshi's grace. Bhagavan is not separate from your Sakshi. So, by the grace of your own inner Atma, the Sakshi, you come to this condition. Then you approach somebody and then you put a question. From your question, he understands. You put a question. From the question, what level of maturity you have it. How much you have observed your life. How much you have watched. Are you looking for a tentative, superficial answer that you want to be a better person, you want to go to heaven, you want to make money, or you want to have a nice life, comfortable life, or you have got some psychological problem that you are worried, you have a problem with some family member and you want to be a nice person, or do you want a tentative fixing of something superficially, or you want to go to the root of the problem? From your question, we can understand at what level the person is. You open the mouth, it can be easily understood. What level the question is coming from. This means how much maturity he had behind when he puts that question. The question shows, if you have really observed, is there a freedom? I understand there is a value, discipline, religious culture, so many things are there. To a certain extent they help you. But in spite of religion, God and belief, still you are afraid. There is a fear, you don't know what will happen. Again you have got a suffering and all that ego, frustration, everything is there. But is there a total freedom? Is there such a thing? And is it possible? And can I get it? But is there somebody who can help me? These questions. That is the time you find somebody. Okay? Then the Vedanta teaches that it is this. It points out, first it makes a statement, then later it unfolds it. Ultimately, this individuality is a misunderstanding. Is a choice. You have not made this misunderstanding. You find yourself in that misunderstanding. It is not that you, as an individual, you are misunderstanding. Individuality itself is a misunderstanding about the reality, real Atma. The real Atma is a non-individual. It is non-person. It is impersonal. It is totality. It is absolute. Your real Atma is absolute. The absolute is misunderstood as an individual. It is not that individual is misunderstanding. Individuality itself is a misunderstanding. See the difference. It is a misunderstanding of what? Just as a snake is a misunderstanding about rope. What is the reality? Rope is the reality. About rope, I have a misunderstanding. The form of misunderstanding is snake. The reality is the rope. Similarly, my real nature is absolute. Freedom. Free from all birth and death and sufferings and all that. I am not an individual. I am not subject to birth and death. I am not subject to suffering, pain and anything. I am totally free. I am completely happy. Free from fear, free from death and free from everything. That is my absolute nature. That's my real nature. So, here at the moment, what I feel myself to be as an individual, this sense of individuality is a misunderstanding about my real Atma, which is absolute, which is free, ever free, eternally free. So the free Atma is missed, and a false Atma, a wrong Atma, an individuality is taken as myself. So this is the thing. So you have to correct. It's not that individual is misunderstanding. After correction you remain an individual. No. Individuality itself is a part of misunderstanding. Individuality itself is a misunderstanding. When it is corrected, you become a non-individual. You discover that you are no more an individual. You are not at the level of the body. The bodily identification is not you. Identification with sense organs, with mind is not you. That means you are outside the state. Just like you wake up from the dream, you are no more in the waking state. Waking state is a false thought upon you. You are no more an individual. There is no state for you. Neither waking nor dream nor any state. You are a stateless absolute reality. You are stateless. Statelessness is my pure existence, my real existence. My real existence is pure consciousness, timeless, free and absolute. So at the moment I take myself to be an individual, now you have to question that. You have to observe, question, investigate, probe into that sense of individuality. More and more you probe deeply into it, you start getting disillusioned. That means you start dropping away the bodily features. Therefore, the identification with the body becomes less and less. Bodily features you don't identify. Your age, sex, and then human being, that I am that and this and all this identification goes away. Your self-image goes away as an individual. In society, you have a self-image, I am so and so. All that is only imagination. That also you remove them. Then identification with sense organs, identification with the mind, identification with the intellect is removed. Then you come to your original nature, which is pure consciousness, which is not a part of a state, which is not undergoing the states. It is stateless. States are false appearance upon me. Me means that. You can't use any word that for that. So that absolute self. So that individuality, states are only false appearances. They are not me. I stand beyond my states. I am just myself. It is itself. Now you can't describe anything. It is beyond words, but it is direct experience. Since it is a self-evident experience, you don't have to define it because it is beyond definition. You don't have to explain it because it don't need any explanation. It is a self-evident, direct, immediate experience. Direct, immediate, self-evident Atma. So that Atma at the moment is put under, it's missed, and a wrong individuality is placed on it. This wrong individuality has to be corrected. That's why we are examining all that. Okay, so the dream and waking, we have to still on the process alone. We'll see, time is up. I took 15 minutes more today. Anyway, we'll discuss tomorrow. Continue tomorrow. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat.